What's going on, everybody? So anyways, today I'm finally back to normal. Holla! Yeah, if you could get through video number 82, 83, 84, and you saw that evil hawk that's trying to steal my bunny in video 85, congratulations. Especially if you got through video 84. Holy shit, that video was fucked up. I saw that video, I watched it, and I was like, holy shit, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? So, anyways, yeah, today I'm back to normal. Um, I spent the morning. I woke up, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just wake up and just dance around as I make my like oats. So, so I like put on Moon Man and Slim, The Adventures of Moon Man and Slim, that new song I was telling you about. That song was fresh. And then I turned on Dr. Sarah Farid's videos on narcissism is kryptonite. It's about a 22-minute, and this one on childhood neglect leading to borderline personality disorder, and how it just affects us throughout the rest of our lives, not feeling unconditional love. Really good fucking videos, man. Jesus Christ, that girl's got her shit together. And then after I finished her two videos, I listened to Moon Man and Slim again, and then I went outside and I hung out with a bunny in my front yard. I'm looking at a bunny right now, actually. Hawk's not around today. I think I scared it off yesterday in video 85. After I was talking shit to it in video 85, and he was like cawing at me, and he was like, ah! And like when he does that, he looks right at me, and he's like, ah, ah. And at any second, I'm expecting him to like swoop down, and like I'm totally prepared to just grapple with him, take some like stitches. One day, me and him are gonna go at it, man, because he's trying to eat my bunnies, and I'm going to kill him. The reason why he does not like me is because he knows that his life is going to end at my hands. He knows it. He knows. I think hawks could foresee the future. That's why Egyptian legacy or mythology, or no, just what they believed in back then, the Egyptians. Horus was a falcon or a hawk, a bird, and he had vision, and he could see the future, and he could see all things. You could, call it the third eye, or call it being able to understand everything, see everything. And I was actually talking to this lawyer yesterday. I was hanging out with this guy, real cool, fucking awesome guy, man. Me and him got along like a motherfucker. And because we're super fucking hyper intelligent people. Like, I mean, Dr. Sarah, one thing that she was talking about today is that most of what the lawyer that I talked to learned, what the lawyer's father learned, and what I learned was work that we did on our own. It wasn't from professors, it wasn't from psychiatrists, it wasn't from sitting down with psychiatrists, it wasn't from any of this stuff. It was from sitting down with books, watching speeches, interviews, YouTube videos, whatever it is. You learn from your studying, your study habits, your work ethic, the work you put in, and that's how you learn and you grow. There's this weird array of light coming from this side. It's very strange. Let's see if I move now. I don't even know if that helps. And the lawyer, we started talking about our education because he has a doctorate. His wife has a master's degree. I have a master's degree, and and I was talking to him about how, the reason why we have what we have, or we have this level of confidence or understanding of the future, being able to predict the future and see into the future to see what is going to happen next, is not only by being present and being the present moment and being socially aware. Me, the lawyer, the lawyer's wife, and the lawyer's father were all from New York City. And when you're from New York City, or New York in general, you're surrounded by so many people. You have extreme social awareness. We were also all abused. I don't know if his wife was, but we were all abused as children and neglected as children, right? So we had childhood neglect and childhood abuse, right? And when you have those, you have hypervigilance. And when you have hypervigilance, you are constantly on edge, you're constantly aware of the dangers in your environment. And you could read people, you could understand people, you could see abuse from a mile away because you're always on edge, you're always looking over your shoulder, you're always in tune of what's dangerous. If you go back to that narcissism, why we attract narcissists, I think it was number 81 that I did, when the problems that borderline personality disorder people have, clinical depressed people have, and bipolar people have, with attracting predators and narcissists, is because of those high and low stages and the other issues I mentioned in that video. But if you're not in the high or low state and you're just in that even keel present moment state like I am today, like yesterday I was in the hyper high state, right? I wasn't really in control of my emotions. I wanted to kill people. The video 82 and 83, I was in the low state where I would have most likely dated a narcissist, without a doubt, because all I wanted was love, because I was just a 3-year-old. I was crying most of the day. So when you're crying most of the day and you're a 3-year-old and all you want to do is feel love because you're so fucking suicidal and you're so goddamn depressed, like, you attract narcissists like a motherfucker. You attract predators. You attract abusive people. Because those people realize that they own you now. They're like, I got this person. This person's mine. Because, they need love. They're asking for love. And I'll give them that love. And I'll do terrible things to them in the long run. Because I know that they'll always keep coming back. Jesus Christ! I had a chapter on that in my book, and I fucking deleted it. I took it out because I'm like, dude, this has become, I don't want this to be some fucking stupid ass advice book. I want it to be a fucking, like, a storytelling, like, this is what fucking mental illness is, and this is how fucking shitballs crazy it is. I don't want to be like Tony Robbins or fucking, some fucking person giving advice and shit. Because it's just like, dude. And I sat down with my sister a million times about my ebook, and I talked to her about this stuff, and she's like, Joe, there's a million fucking books out there that give advice and tell you what to do and what not to do and how to get better and this and this and that. She's like, dude, don't write one of those fucking books. Like, there's a million of those fucking books out there. Like, Jesus Christ, man, we don't need another one of those. We need a fucking book that actually shows how fucking insane a person with BPD is, borderline personality disorder is. Because guess how many books are out there that are like that are true. Not bullshit, but true. There's none. There's fucking none. You go on Amazon Prime or Kindle or wherever the fuck you go and you look up books that are legitly of somebody that just tells stories and goes into detail about, like, the fucking, like, craziness of fucking borderline personality disorder or bipolar, schizophrenia, schizoaffective. There's none. And if they are, they're all bullshit, or they're like fucking watered down, like, oh, but then I reached the point where I got better and I was grateful and, everything worked out, because they're too shy and cowardly to actually open up and say who they really are. Because if they actually opened up and said who they really are, they would be terrified of the results. Because they would realize that society would be like, either feel sorry for them or they would, like, consider them dangerous. Because we are fucking dangerous. And, like, dude, just look at video number 84 that I filmed yesterday. Like, dude, like, that's somebody that's a dangerous fuck. I'm not that person today, but I was that person yesterday at 7:27. It's 7:24 right now. Completely different person. Right now, if you gave me an axe and you were like, hey, go murder that person over there, they're an average person, they have it too easy, I'd be like, what are you, a fucking idiot? I don't want to murder that person. Like, I'll go over there and hang out with them. Maybe have a beer with them. I don't know. Fuck it. But like yesterday, if there was an average person sitting outside my, right there outside my door, and I realized he had too easy and he had a pretty car that like ran over a squirrel, I'd fucking go kill him right now. If I was me yesterday in number 84. That's the fucking problem with borderline personality disorder people or bipolar people. Borderline, more so. We change day to day, hour to hour. We're never the same person. So, going back to it, man, it's just like, learning how to heal on your own, because ain't nobody gonna heal for you. Like, and when I was getting really pissed off about talking about those people that saw me as their psychiatrist, the reason why they see me as their psychiatrist is because I've done such extensive work on my own. I could be a goddamn doctor. I am a Rogerian. I am Carl Rogers. There ain't no fucking question about that. When anybody sits down in front of me, anybody. That's why everybody fucking likes me. I win people over in a second. And it's not because I'm a narcissist. It's because I'm Carl Rogers or Eckhart Tolle. I sit down, I tilt my head to this side, I completely black out all thought. There is absolutely no thought within me. I go present moment awareness, and I enter just listening to that person. I don't have a cell phone on. I don't have a cell phone on me. If it is, it's in my pocket, so it's not visible to another person. Because whenever you have a cell phone out, that person feels like they're the second person that's most important to you. The cell phone is more important to you than they are. I learned that shit from Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek has done extensive research on that. If you want to hear about that shit, listen to Simon Sinek. I'll list his name below. Fascinating shit. But if you really listen to somebody, you could cure their problems instantly, because the answers that you will be giving them are not from you. They're from creation or a more like divine higher power or existence. And then you give them that salvation that they're looking for through that wisdom that you attain from wherever you attain it. Like, it just makes sense, and you flow through it, and you give them that, and they're usually just fucking blown away just by listening to them, being present, and attaining whatever you attained. And if you know a lot about psychology and spirituality and history, you could also, and sociology, which I know a shitload about because I'm just, god damn it, I'm a fucking, like, that's my life, is just study, and it's and just like healing. There's no excuses for me. If I wake up every day and if I'm not in full control of my emotional states, I'm doing everybody in the world a disservice. Because I know that I could leave this room at any moment if I don't keep up on my shit. If I could leave this room at any moment and slaughter 6.5 billion people and not care. And I could say that straight-faced, because I know I can, if I did not work on myself. What did I do this morning? I woke up, and Dr. Sarah posted like 2 cool new videos, so I listened to them. And I totally agreed with both of them, because she works more diligently than I do on this shit. And just listening to her videos, well, I already knew what she was talking about because I've already, gotten into all that stuff. But, it's just so deeply important to always work on yourself, man. Especially if you have these illnesses. Like, there's really no excuses. Because if you don't work on them enough, you're going to become a dick to everybody around you. Because whenever you suffer, and you suffer for a really long time, you just become so fucking bitter and resentful at the human race and fucking everybody around you that you just start treating people like shit everywhere. You just start becoming an asshole. And you start, like, not taking care of yourself. You start, like, neglecting yourself and your body, and then you start to become an asshole to yourself. You know, and also, most of the problems that we have because our parents were fucking extreme assholes to us, or they were extremely neglectful, or they never gave us unconditional love, or they put us down verbally and emotionally. So now we have this negative self-talk in our head. It's just like, oh my God, I'm so stupid, I'm so unlovable, I'm not good enough, I'm never good enough, you know. And dude, it's a fucking nightmare. The shit that we fucking feel or think in our minds or say to ourselves, or even if we don't say it out loud, it's in our subconscious. And we got to work on that shit every day. Like, there's this one thing that I always have, you know, when I go to the bathroom, and I always read it, and it's to heal childhood emotional neglect, not feeling unconditional love when you're a kid, and battling through emotional and mental abuse when, you know, throughout pretty much my entire life, and also being rejected throughout my entire life and bullied and picked on, you know. And it's just, you know, I don't have to be perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I'm good enough. Like, I'm lovable. I'm worthy of love. You know, like, I don't have to rush. You know, I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. I don't have to be anything. I don't have to be anything for anyone. You know, and it's really a fucking struggle, man. I mean, it's a really goddamn struggle. And, you know, we have to give ourselves these positive affirmations all the time, because we were fucking destroyed in childhood so bad. And it's like, if we don't work on ourselves and read those positive affirmations to ourselves every day, man, we start to feel really bad about ourselves. And we start to beat up on ourselves, and we start to, like, have that negative soundtrack running in our head over and over again, that we're not good enough, and we don't, and even if we don't say it out loud, it's in our subconscious still, because we've been beat down our entire life. So it's really important to, you know, stay on that path. Daily disciplines, whether it's journaling or writing down your emotions and emotion logs, positive affirmations, studying YouTube videos, like the 11 or 12 people I listed in my book, like Dr. Alexa Altman, Brene Brown, Dr. Brene Brown. She changed my life, man. I was going to dedicate my book to Dr. Brene Brown. Instead, I dedicated my book to a Cave Town song, which was called I Promise I'm Trying. Because one day I had this huge suicidal day. I was super fucking suicidal that day. And my niece is really into Cave Town. So is my one of my best buddies, Dr. S. His daughter's into Cave Town. And so I listen to Cave Town a lot, just to relate to, you know, my niece and, you know, whoever. And so I put on this playlist, and Cave Town has this one song called I Promise I'm Trying. And I was already suicidally depressed that day. And it was in that song was everything that I was feeling, everything that I ever felt growing up, everything that I struggle with. It wrapped up struggling with suicidal depression and hurting to such a degree that it was like, this is it. Like, this is what this book will be dedicated to, because it is everything and all things. And in the past 3 years, when I was writing the book and editing the book, I was like, yeah, should I? You know, and I was thinking about all these people that I was going to dedicate it to that were meaningful to me. And then I ended up dedicating it to a fucking, like, Australian singer that's like 15 years old and shit. Random shit, man. But it felt right. So I did it. Yeah, so anyways, I hope you guys are having a good day. It's nice to be back to normal. I'm present today, which is really cool. The bunny this morning that I was hanging out with in the morning helped me out with that, because when I listen to music or when I listen to people speak, like when I was listening to Dr. Sarah this morning, it's I'm there and I'm listening to something, but I'm in two places at one time. I'm not present, right? I'm present, but it's not really presence. It's like you're listening to something and you're trying, you're trying to be here now, but your ears are somewhere else. You're in two places at one time, so you're not truly present, right? And that's why I'm never on cell phones. It's because if you have a cell phone on or on you, or you're waiting for it to beep, or you're listening to something, or you're talking to somebody, you're in two places. You're here mostly, and then you're here, but it's two places. And whenever you're in two places at once, you can never be in the flow state. You can never be existence or creation, because existence and creation is doing one thing at a time. That's what Zen is. Zen is doing one thing at a time and only being there in one thing, which is being creation, existence, nature. That is the one thing that you are. But if you're doing this, you're in two places. You're in two things. So you're not just one thing, you're two things. And whenever you are two things, you cannot be completely present or reach levels of flow state or existence or be creation or existence or God, if you want to call it God. So that's why I'm not a fan of fucking cell phones at all. And before we had cell phones, we had more empathy in this world, and we had more clarity and wisdom in this world. I hope that shit changes. So, not having it in the present. And because the only way to truly create or attain true wisdom by being nature and being creation is to be nature and creation. And if you're doing this, you will never be creation and nature. And you will never be able to really excel in wisdom or creation by creating beauty. Jeez, I just fucking really went off topic on that. But anyways, that happens quite a bit. I often tell my friends, like, whenever you see me start doing this, that means I'm gone. Like, that means I'm gone. Like, I've left the body. I'm no longer a person. I'm creation and existence and nature. And the person is dissolved. There is no ego. I just am creation, existence. As soon as you start seeing my hands go, it's over. It's absolutely over. So anyways, guys, I hope you're having a good day. I'll list Simon Sinek's name below. And if you want to check out Dr. Sarah's stuff, check out Dr. Sarah. Narcissists are my kryptonite, I guess. But a bunch of her stuff is really badass, especially if you struggle with narcissists, because she does a fuckload of research on that shit, and borderline personality disorder, and childhood neglect. I would say the video she did underneath the narcissist kryptonite video was much better, because that really focuses in on borderline personality disorder and childhood neglect and mental illness in general, and the world of psychiatry, and it is extremely informative and really well done. Alright, guys. Peace. Later. And I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you had an amazing weekend. Have a good time, guys. Peace.